The MacBook is our most popular Mac. But what we've done, and we've made a habit of doing this at Apple, is we decided just to start over. The new MacBook is a quite remarkable engineering achievement. It really represents just a complete revolution in the way that notebooks are made. I mean, traditionally, notebooks are made from multiple parts. But the problem is when you have multiple parts, you add size and weight, and you increase the opportunity for failure. And the huge breakthrough that we had with the MacBook was to replace all of those parts with just one part. And that one part we called the unibody. We figured out a way of being able to make the notebook fundamentally thinner, lighter, more robust, and with sort of a degree of fit and finish that we've never even dreamed of before. And the only way to make that one part was to machine it from a single piece of aluminium. I love the way that we don't reserve our very best ideas for our, the very highest end products, that our very best ideas, all of our innovation, we bring to the most popular Mac that we make. When you start using it, when you start putting your photographs on it, when you start working on your personal projects, it becomes so much more than just a collection of parts. We've refined and refined every detail in the service of the user, just to get rid of complexity. If something doesn't need to be there, it's not there. I mean, I don't know how we could make something any more essential, any simpler than the new MacBook. Our goals for the first iMac and the goals for this iMac, they've not really changed at all. They're all about trying to create an all-in-one product based on amazing technology, but making it very, very simple. This new iMac really is an evolution of a product that was so right in so many ways when we first released it. The entire front of the new iMac is just dominated by this incredible new 16:9 display. We've actually figured out a way of taking the glass right to the very perimeter. It's just display and then no display. That's it. I mean, you are just completely consumed by that image. There's not a detail there that doesn't need to be there. There are no visual interruptions, distractions, there's just no other noise. Everything is about the display, and therefore, everything is about your content. When you first see the mouse, it could not be any simpler. But I love the way that it scales from being something that is that apparently simple to actually being really remarkably sophisticated. I mean, we've finally figured out how to take the multi-touch technology and implement it on a mouse. It's still a point-and-click mouse, but now the entire top surface of the mouse is basically it's a multi-touch sensor.
This is the smartest mouse we've ever made. There's a chip inside that acts essentially as a brain. As you put your fingers on the top shell, it can determine where they're located, how many you have, and through your gesture, your movement, it can determine what your intent is.
You can scroll anywhere on that top surface, you can swipe. It is incredibly intuitive. I mean, you can use it without thought, you know, it's just the way that you would have expected the mouse should have always worked. The core ideas, the founding ideas of the iMac are as relevant and as right now as they were, you know, with the first one. And so rather than just, you know, being consumed by reinvention, this is one of those fantastic opportunities to be very clear about what's right and that we don't want to change, so that we can put all of our energy behind improving those aspects of the product that we can make better. And that's what this iMac represents. It's a collection of our very best thinking, our very best innovation. With the new MacBook Air, we wanted to design and build an incredibly mobile product, but without compromise. Everything that we've learned designing really powerful notebooks, and everything that we've learned designing really small mobile devices, culminates in the new MacBook Air. You know, it's true, when something exceeds your ability to understand how it works, it sort of becomes magical. And that's exactly what the iPad is. It's hard to see how something so simple, so thin and so light could possibly be so capable. The face of the product is pretty much defined by a single piece of multi-touch glass. And that's it. There's no pointing device. There isn't even a single orientation. You know, there's no up, there's no down. There's no right or wrong way of holding it. I don't have to change myself to fit the product. It fits me. The iPad, on one hand, is clearly way bigger than just a new product. This is a new category, but yet millions and millions of people are going to be instantly familiar with it. They're going to know how to use it. In many ways, this defines our vision, our sense of what's next. With iPad 2, we've made advances in both form and function that are so significant and far-reaching. I can't think of a product that has defined an entire category and has then been completely redesigned in such a short period of time. The iPad 2 really is defined by the display. There are just no distractions. By reducing what were essentially 3 surfaces to 2, we got rid of the structural wall around the perimeter of the product and eliminated the edge. It's not only more comfortable to hold, but with the breakthroughs we've made with unibody engineering, it's rigid, sturdy, and even more precise. While the back of the product is made of durable aluminium, we wanted to figure out a way to protect the display without compromising the iPad's size and weight. So rather than developing a separate case, we created a cover at the same time that we were actually designing the iPad. The two are made to work together. It attaches magnetically, it aligns perfectly, and it's just as easy to remove. When the iPad detects you've opened the cover, it immediately wakes from sleep. And when you close the cover, it puts it back to sleep. You can also fold the cover to create a stand for typing or watching a video. And the microfiber internal lining was even designed to help keep the display clean. There are 10 colors, 5 in polyurethane and 5 in a beautiful aniline dyed leather. We're constantly working to refine and improve, to simplify, to make something thinner and lighter, and yet at the same time increasing its functionality. The original iPad defined a category, and I think that the iPad 2 will really define that category for years to come. iPhone 4 is so much more than just another new product. mean, this will have a lasting impact on the way that we actually connect with each other. And we started with completely opposing goals. I mean, we wanted to make this iPhone more capable. We wanted to add more features. And yet at the same time, we wanted to make it smaller and even thinner. And that led to some really surprising innovations. And we developed an entirely new grade of stainless steel that after machining is incredibly strong, but also remarkably precise. The steel frame functions as the antenna, but also the primary structure, giving us more internal volume. We also developed a custom glass that's comparable in strength to sapphire crystal, but about 30 times harder than plastic. This glass is not only used on the front of the phone, but also on the back. The quality of the materials, the manufacturing precision, the advanced technology, ultimately, all of this becomes relevant when you just hold it in your hand. To create something that's genuinely new, you have to start again. And I think with great intent, you disconnect from the past. The new MacBook Pro is built for the very highest levels of performance. It's incredibly powerful and yet remarkably portable. It's without doubt the very best computer that we've ever built. The new MacBook Pro would seem to be a complete contradiction. It's built for extreme levels of performance, but at the same time it's remarkably portable. To create it, we rigorously question the ways in which we've designed and built our portable products in the past. One of the most significant challenges was completely changing our approach to the design of the display. By building the layers of the display into the unibody, we actually eliminated the need for a separate cover glass. And without the additional layers, without the distractions, you're just completely immersed in your content. By not purchasing standard parts, but by designing and engineering components from the ground up, we can create a product that is more elegant and that's more efficient. And there are many design innovations in the new MacBook Pro that users won't actually see, but they'll certainly experience. For example, the thermal system, which enables the machine's incredible performance, operates in a way that is nearly imperceptible to the user. Air is pulled into vents and propelled through sculpted cavities by fans with asymmetrically positioned blades. In most fans, the blades are positioned symmetrically, which creates a single identifiable frequency. We positioned ours asymmetrically to spread the sound over a variety of frequencies, which makes it seem quieter and less intrusive. Every part of the enclosure makes a contribution that directly benefits the user. The vents are also part of the structural system, creating strong beams that actually increase the rigidity of the overall product. It truly takes an obsessive approach to make a product this meticulously designed and engineered. With the new MacBook Pro, we set out to design something extreme. And this led us to rethink everything about our process, everything about what's essential to a notebook. And that meant that we could design the very best computer for today and for the future. When you think about your iPhone, it's probably the object that you use most in your life. It's the product that you have with you all the time. With this unique relationship people have with their iPhone, we take changing it really seriously. We don't want to just make a new phone. We want to make a much better phone. iPhone 5 is the result of this approach. It's been completely redesigned. And for the first time ever, we've increased the size of the display. By making the screen taller but not wider, you can see more of your content but still comfortably use it with one hand. And yet, even with the larger display, iPhone 5 is the thinnest, lightest iPhone we've ever built. Along with the experience of actually using it, what makes iPhone 5 so unique is how it feels in your hand. The materials it's been made with, the remarkable precision with which it's been built. Never before have we built a product with this extraordinary level of fit and finish. We've developed manufacturing processes that are our most complex and ambitious. Starting with the aluminium, we machine all of the surfaces of the enclosure. We then polish and texture them. We then use crystalline diamonds to cut the chamfers. It's so exact that you're left with a near mirror finish. These techniques create a dramatic distinction between the product's lightly textured back and its highly polished chamfered edge. This manufacturing precision extends to how these many pieces seamlessly come together. The inlay of the product is matched to the housing through a highly sophisticated process. With the part on a conveyor, 2 high-powered cameras take pictures of the housing. An instantaneous analysis is done, and then the best match out of a possible 725 cuts is determined. The variances from product to product we now measure in microns. We believe that going to such extreme lengths is the only way that we can deliver this level of quality. To create the new iPhone, we began with a design that we really loved, but to build it, to implement it, we had to look way beyond what we knew to be possible. It took all of our learning, our best thinking, to realize something so simple, so clear, and yet so truly extraordinary. The human ear is so unique. No two are alike. Making one headphone to fit everybody's ears would be like trying to make one pair of shoes to fit everybody's feet. I mean, it's impossible. But that's exactly what we've tried to do with the new EarPods. Everything about their design is focused on delivering incredible sound and comfort. As part of an exhaustive research and development effort, we three-dimensionally scanned hundreds of ears and looked for a commonality. From that, we were able to determine a common volume. This was our starting point for developing a form to fit a broad range of ears. The shape of the EarPod is actually defined by the geometry of your ear. They rest comfortably in your ears, but they don't create a seal the way in-ear headphones do. EarPods are designed to intentionally direct sound right into the ear canal. To optimize the acoustics, we've built in a series of ports, each with its own unique purpose. A port in the back tunes mid-range frequencies and provides a consistent listening experience from one person to the next. To provide rich, powerful bass, we've built ports into the stem that actually work in sympathy with the speaker. By letting air flow in and out of the acoustic chamber, they relieve pressure and allow the speaker to move more freely, producing greater low-frequency sound. Sound is so important to the way that you experience an Apple product. So we wanted to make a headphone that was absolutely the very best it could be. From the very beginning, the iPad was designed to be very powerful, very capable, but also remarkably simple to use. So our goal was to take all the amazing things that you can do with a full-size iPad, but pack them into a product that is so much smaller. And that's what we did with the new iPad mini. If all that we had done was take the original iPad and just reduce it, all that you would be aware of was everything that was just missing. That there is inherent loss in just reducing a product in size. And what we did was we went back to the very beginning and we took the time to design a product that was a concentration of, not a reduction of the original. We felt strongly that 7.9 inches was exactly the right display size, but it became clear that we had to reduce the width of the borders so you can still pick it up and easily use it with one hand. We have continued to develop our unibody process. There are essentially two parts to the enclosure, the glass and the aluminium. And that junction where the two parts actually come together is incredibly important. The diamond cut chamfer meets seamlessly with the glass. And I think it's a beautiful detail that further reduces parts and actually makes it more durable. We also designed an entirely new smart cover for the iPad mini. By eliminating the separate aluminium hinge, we now essentially wrap the iPad mini in a single, simple colored material. All of these efforts combine to make a product that is incredibly thin and light and has absolutely remarkable levels of fit and finish. And I think the result is an extraordinary iPad, one that will be used in so many different places, in so many different ways. We have always thought of design as being so much more than just the way something looks. It's the whole thing, the way something actually works on so many different levels. Ultimately, of course, design defines so much of our experience. I think there is a profound and enduring beauty in simplicity, in clarity, in efficiency. True simplicity is derived from so much more than just the absence of clutter and ornamentation. It's about bringing order to complexity. iOS 7 is a clear representation of these goals. It has a whole new structure that is coherent and that is applied across the entire system. We've considered the tiniest details, like refining the typography, to much larger ones, like redesigning all the icons. And developing a grid system allowed us to achieve a much more harmonious relationship between individual elements. We've also incorporated a whole new palette of colors. Distinct, functional layers help establish hierarchy and order. And the use of translucency gives you a sense of your context. These planes, combined with new approaches to animation and motion, create a sense of depth and vitality. The iPhone, responding to your movements, drives the parallax to create a whole new experience of depth. In many ways, we've tried to create an interface that is unobtrusive and deferential. One where the design recedes, and in doing so, actually elevates your content. Even the simple act of changing your wallpaper has a very noticeable effect on the way your iPhone looks and feels across the entire system. While iOS 7 is completely new, it was important to us to make it instantly familiar. We wanted to take an experience that people know very well and actually add to it, to make it more useful, to make it more enjoyable. The iPhone 5C is in many ways the distillation of what people love about the iPhone 5. It's simpler, more essential, yet it's more capable and certainly more colorful. We believe the iPhone is an experience that's defined by hardware and software working harmoniously together. We continue to refine that experience, dramatically blurring the boundaries between the two, making it more powerful, more intuitive, and ultimately more useful. iPhone 5C is beautifully, unapologetically plastic. Multiple parts have been reduced to a single polycarbonate component whose surface is continuous and seamless. I think that designs with a real coherence are the result of developing form, material, and color in unison, each element informing and in many ways defining the other, creating a significant and a meaningful design. Just as with its appearance, we took the same fanatical care with how the iPhone 5C feels in your hand. That sense of quality and integrity that's synonymous with the iPhone. That meant developing the design by creating a whole new structural architecture. It starts with a single piece of polycarbonate, into which we install a steel reinforced frame, creating a bespoke assembly that doubles as an antenna. We then add the rear plate. We then machine holes for the buttons, ensuring perfect alignment. And then the entire assembly goes through multiple finishing processes, including a clear lacquer hardcoat that creates a durable and incredibly glossy surface. This whole process culminates in an extraordinarily rigid structure and a solid, dense feel that you would not expect from a plastic product. From the beginning, we wanted to design cases as colorful and as well-made as the iPhone itself. The soft, matte, microfiber-lined silicone is a very intentional contrast to the glossy, hardcoat finish of the iPhone. The result is a case that extends and complements the product while offering dozens of colorful combinations. I think it's quite remarkable when something feels familiar and yet it's new at the same time. That's the iPhone 5C. It's the vivid realization of hardware and software together in one device. We're often faced with a paradox when we design, to make products smaller and lighter, while at the same time more powerful. The more we reduce a product's physical volume, the more difficult it becomes to increase its power and maintain its battery life. But if we can overcome these challenges, we can make something without compromises. iPad Air is just 7.5 millimeters thin and weighs only 1 pound. We actually started work on this product years ago, designing and engineering the primary technologies that would be necessary to make it. The new A7 chip is incredibly powerful and also very power efficient. Because of this efficiency, the battery could get smaller, yet critically without any loss in battery life. And of course, by reducing the battery size, the product became significantly lighter. We reduced the dimensions of the bezel With less mass, the iPad Air still retains its structural rigidity. There's a simplicity to it, but there's nothing precious about it. This integrity, this durability, inspires confidence in a product that's meant to be taken places, handled, and really used. The iPad has always been a tool defined by the ways people actually use it. The iPad Air is so capable and powerful, and yet with its breakthrough size and weight, is the thinnest, lightest, and also the most advanced iPad we've ever built. A truly great product is ultimately defined by the integration of its hardware and software. Developing an iPhone with a larger and more advanced display launched one of the most significant design and engineering efforts since we introduced the original product. With a 4.7-inch display, iPhone 6 becomes taller and wider. We made the design dramatically thinner while developing a smooth, continuous surface that is comfortable to both hold and use. We're also introducing iPhone 6 Plus with a larger 5.5-inch display. And with the same continuous surfaces and seamless material transitions as iPhone 6, it's very thin. By creating iPhone 6 and iOS 8 together, we've optimized the physical design to enhance software features. The cover glass extends beyond the top surface to seamlessly join the aluminium unibody. The result is hardware and software defining a truly singular experience. With iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, we've taken the time to do the deep engineering to design and develop two entirely new iPhones. More significant than just bigger and better displays, the design has never been so compelling, undoubtedly making this the biggest advance in the iPhone since we launched the original. The new MacBook is the result of a collective obsession to simplify its essential components to create the most efficient design possible. It's a product that couldn't exist without invention across many disciplines. A full-size keyboard is the most familiar, comfortable, and accurate typing platform. It defined the width of the new MacBook. To make it thinner and more precise, we created a sturdy, single-assembly butterfly mechanism. Combined with a new stainless steel dome switch, this reinforces the keyboard's balance and stability. Each individual key is now lit by a single LED. This enables better, more deliberate illumination. A Retina display delivers the very best viewing experience. To engineer the thinnest Retina screen for a Mac, we've refined every component, from the glass down to the pixels. It delivers the vivid brightness and performance you'd expect, but in a design that's thinner, lighter, and 30% more power efficient. We've designed a force-sensing, multi-touch trackpad. This adds a new dimension of interaction. Touch sensors make the entire glass surface active. Force sensors measure a wide range of pressure, from the lightest tap to the deepest press. The pressure you apply activates an electromagnet that responds with tactile feedback. So now instead of just seeing what's happening on the screen, you feel it too. To make all-day battery life possible, we have developed new battery technologies. we actually changed the construction and internal chemistry of the cells, which are now manufactured in discrete sheets. These sheets are stacked in a terraced structure that was developed along with the external enclosure. The design allows for 35% greater battery capacity in this compact space. To maximize performance, we took an extreme approach to miniaturization. Components were optimized and engineered to fit together to create the highest density Mac logic board yet. It's actually 2/3 smaller than any we've designed before. A fundamental goal was to eliminate the need for vents, fans, or any moving parts, allowing it to operate in silence. By consolidating the antenna with the bottom case, we were able to design an integrated aluminium hinge. This innovation, along with its unibody enclosure, makes this the first all-metal MacBook. This product is not only thin and light, its advanced wireless technologies make it truly portable. When you actually need to plug in, the new USB Type-C connector is a single port for charging, video output, and data transfer. The result of all of this is a product that's only 13.1 millimeters thick and weighs just 2 pounds. To create the new MacBook, we were uncompromising in its design and engineering. We set a new standard for portability while enhancing its fundamental components to deliver what we believe is the best MacBook yet. You know, it's driven Apple from the beginning, this compulsion to take incredibly powerful technology and make it accessible, relevant, and ultimately personal. We've designed a range of products so personal, you don't put them on your desk or in your pocket, you wear them on your wrist. We conceived, designed and developed Apple Watch as a completely singular product. You know, you can't determine a boundary between the physical object and the software. We're introducing an unparalleled level of technical innovation combined with a design that connects with the wearer at an intimate level to both embrace individuality and inspire desire. The watch senses that you're raising your wrist and then activates the display. You see an organization of apps that, while new, is somehow familiar. Navigation is fluid and vital. Magnifying content on a small display is fundamentally important. So we've developed a whole new interface specific to the challenges associated with a product this small. The Digital Crown is a remarkable input device. It fluidly zooms into apps. It enables nimble, precise adjustment. And critically, you can use it without obstructing the display. It's also the home button. Apps are designed for lightweight interaction. Smart replies and dictation let you respond quickly to messages. Glances let you swipe through information efficiently. And pressing the button below the Digital Crown instantly shows you friends you can contact in just seconds. And with Digital Touch, we've developed an entirely new way for you to connect intimately with others. You can get someone's attention with a gentle tap. You can send a quick sketch or you can even share something as personal as your own heartbeat. These are subtle ways to communicate that technology often inhibits rather than enables. These apps all take advantage of the flexible Retina display. It's been laminated to a machined and polished single crystal of sapphire. That's the second hardest transparent material after diamond. In addition to the digital crown, we've had to invent other input technologies designed specifically for a product this small. So as well as sensing touch, the display also senses force, quite literally adding a new dimension to the user interface. Tiny electrodes around the display recognize the difference between a tap and a press. This provides instant access to a whole range of contextually specific controls. For the first time, and with great intention, we've designed not only what you see, but also what you hear and feel. We've developed a linear actuator that provides haptic feedback to complement your interactions. This Taptic engine, combined with the audio feedback from our water-resistant speaker, creates a discrete and nuanced experience. At the heart of the watch is a custom-designed chip that integrates many subsystems into one remarkably compact module, which is then completely encapsulated to protect the electronics. It's essentially miniaturizing an entire computer system onto a single chip. The Zirconia back has 4 sapphire lenses. Infrared and visible light LEDs, along with photosensors, detect your pulse rate. Using its gyroscope and accelerometer and the GPS and Wi-Fi from your iPhone, the watch provides a comprehensive picture of your daily activity. This allows it to establish and suggest goals and reward fitness milestones. The back crystal also houses a unique charging solution that combines our MagSafe technology with inductive charging. Completely sealed, it requires no alignment or exposed contacts. Apple Watch is incredibly accurate. It uses multiple technologies, keeping time to plus or minus 50 milliseconds. We have worked closely with horological experts from around the world to help us understand the cultural and historical significance of timekeeping. And this has profoundly informed our design. We know that wearing something all day, every day, becomes as much about personal preference and self-expression as functionality. So we've designed a range of watch faces. You can personalize both their appearance and their capability. Personalization extends way beyond the interface. We have designed 6 different straps and a mechanism that makes the straps easily interchangeable with a refinement and precision that's born of functionality. The Sport Band, in a range of bold colors, is made from a tough, durable, sweat and chemical resistant high-performance elastomer. The leather loop comes in a soft, quilted leather that conceals magnets for fastening and adjustment. We've used traditional leather, but in a new sports context that's designed for optimum comfort. The supple, handcrafted leather modern buckle closes with a solid metal clasp and wraps symmetrically around the wrist. The simple leather classic buckle references traditional watch vocabulary. And the stainless steel link bracelet has a slim deployment clasp that is contained within a 2.6mm band. The Milanese loop is crafted from a fluid, flexible stainless steel mesh with a magnetic closure that has an elegant simplicity and is infinitely adjustable. And of course, we knew one size wouldn't fit everyone, so we've also developed a smaller watch with matching smaller straps. From different cases and straps, we've actually created 3 distinct collections. The first, Apple Watch, features a polished case made from a custom alloy of stainless steel. The Sport collection has an ion exchange cover glass and an anodized aluminium case that is 60% stronger than standard alloys, and yet it's incredibly light and durable. Apple Watch Edition is made from 18-karat gold that our metallurgists have developed to be up to twice as hard as standard gold. Creating beautiful objects that are as simple and pure as they are functional, well, that's always been our goal at Apple. We designed Apple Watch as a whole range of products, enabling millions of unique designs, unparalleled personalization, both in appearance and capability. I think we're now at a compelling beginning, actually designing technology to be worn, to be truly personal. Aluminium is naturally strong and lightweight. It's the ideal material for Apple Watch Sport. Our engineers have custom designed a new alloy. It is 60% stronger than standard alloys, but just as light. This requires precision alloying. Raw aluminium of exceptional purity is first heated to a molten state. Tightly controlled amounts of magnesium and zinc are then added. As these elements bind together, they form a protective compound that strengthens the metal. The alloy is then poured, jet-cooled, and cast. A high-temperature treatment minimizes uneven chemistry in the billets and ensures proper grain structure. Next, a finely tuned extrusion process creates a uniform surface free of defects. After being meticulously formed, each case is machined, buffed, and then textured with microscopic zirconia beads to achieve a consistent satin finish. Finally, anodizing creates a hard, clear outer layer that helps protect against stings and scratches. We believe this aluminium alloy sets a new standard, both in the way it performs and the way it looks. Stainless steel is both strong and beautiful. There's a reason it has long been used to make fine watch cases. For Apple Watch, we start with an alloy of stainless steel known for its strength and corrosion resistance. We then customize it through a series of alloying and processing steps to make it even stronger. While in its molten state, the composition of the metal is tightly controlled to minimize impurities and ensure hardness. This is followed by a specialized cold forging process that helps to make the metal up to 80% harder and less susceptible to nicks and scratches. The forgings are then machined in a 12-station multi-axis milling machine, achieving highly accurate uniformity across the case. It's polished to a pristine mirror finish. For the space black stainless steel, an additional diamond-like carbon layer is added to achieve a durable finish and a brilliant appearance. The bands receive the same careful consideration. Each Lynx bracelet is made from more than 140 individual parts. The Milanese loop is made from fine steel coils woven together to create a flowing mesh with a fabric-like feel. With stainless steel, we've given a traditional material a new expression. We wanted to appeal to a wide range of personal styles. So with Apple Watch Edition, we're working with a uniquely luxurious metal, 18-karat solid gold. We're using both yellow and rose gold. Each is a custom alloy designed to be not only beautiful, but up to twice as hard as standard gold. It begins at the molecular level, where precise adjustments in the amount of silver, copper, and palladium in the alloy result in very specific hues of yellow and rose gold. Next, we use a new hardening process developed by our metallurgists to strengthen a metal that is naturally very soft. The molten gold is cast not into the shape of the watch, but into solid ingots. These ingots are then precisely milled to remove any imperfections. They're then compressed to a fraction of their original size, creating dense, pore-free billets. Ultrasonic scanners are used to detect even the most minute defects in the metal. From these solid billets, we machine the watch housing as well as individual components like the digital crown and the clasps for our straps. Finally, each case is hand-polished to an immaculate sheen by highly skilled jewelry artisans. The result is gold that is elegant yet uncompromisingly durable. With iPhone and multi-touch, we introduced a whole new way to interact with technology. Tapping, swiping and pinching have forever changed the way we navigate and experience our digital world. Until now, these gestures have been defined by a singular plane in two-dimensional space. For iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, we're introducing an entirely new interaction and a whole new dimension to the way you experience your iPhone. It's made possible by a technology called 3D Touch. This is the next generation of multi-touch. For the first time, along with recognizing familiar gestures, iPhone also recognizes force, enabling new gestures, peek and pop. "3D Touch" works on the home screen, giving you shortcuts to the things you do frequently. It also works inside applications themselves. Press lightly, and it gives you a peek at the content. Continue pressing, and it pops you into the content itself. Sensors embedded in the display read how hard you're pressing and react in a smooth, linear way. This is a dynamic system, deeply integrated into iOS 9. You can dip in and out of where you are without losing a sense of your context. It provides distinct, tactile feedback for your actions, letting you know exactly what you've done and what to expect. While the way that you use 3D Touch is simple, the engineering behind it is some of our most advanced. At its heart are capacitive sensors integrated into the backlight of the Retina HD display. With each press, these sensors measure microscopic changes in the distance between the cover glass and the backlight. These measurements are then combined with signals from the touch sensor and accelerometer to provide fast, accurate, and continuous response to finger pressure. For a truly communicative experience, we had to develop a more precise level of haptic feedback. While the vibrating system on a typical phone requires 10 or more oscillations to reach full power, the Taptic engine in iPhone 6s reaches peak output in just one cycle and stops just as quickly. This allows us to create shorter, more distinct feedback events, like a mini tap lasting just 10 milliseconds and a full tap which lasts 15 milliseconds. Perhaps more than any other system we've designed, 3D Touch is a clear example of how hardware and software developed together can work to define a singular experience. This is the next generation of multi-touch. It makes this iPhone the most advanced iPhone we have ever created. With its scale, with the way you use it, iPad has always been uniquely immersive. To amplify this, to put it on a much larger scale, we designed iPad Pro. It begins with a 12.9-inch Retina display on an iPad that remains remarkably thin and light. With 78% more screen area, iPad Pro not only transforms your viewing experience, it enables new ways of creating and sharing. To give multi-touch a greater level of precision, we completely re-engineered the touch subsystem, increasing the sensitivity of the sensors and doubling the touch refresh rate. It's actually the most advanced display we've made, and with 5.6 million pixels, it has the highest resolution of any iOS device. This is the first iPad to automatically adjust the number of times the display is refreshed, depending upon what's on the screen. This leads to greater energy efficiency and the all-day battery life you'd expect. Driving its high level of performance is the powerful A9X chip. It was specifically designed for iPad Pro and to meet the demands of a much larger display. Its size lets you do and see more, and its precise multi-touch technology allows for new forms of input while enhancing the capabilities of iOS 9. To produce a rich audio experience within this device's thin profile meant developing an entirely new 4-speaker architecture. For the first time, the speaker housing is machined directly into the unibody enclosure and sealed with a carbon fiber cap. Its 4 speakers give iPad Pro a powerful acoustic output and dynamic range that far surpasses its size. With people using iPad in more and in different ways, we wanted to enhance its flexibility. To do this, we've developed a new technology. Its magnetic contacts relay both power and data bidirectionally. So you can easily connect compatible accessories without the need for Bluetooth or batteries. iPad Pro enables tools and interactions that just haven't been possible before. iPad continues to transform the way we do things. Our goal in designing iPad Pro was to engineer a device that allows you to be more productive, more creative, at an entirely new scale. Touch, of course, is the primary method of interaction with iPad. To enhance what's possible with multi-touch and to allow for a new level of precision with iPad Pro, we've designed Apple Pencil. This began by re-engineering the touch subsystem of the display to measure both finger and stylus input on the same plane with optimal accuracy. When you're using the pencil, the system scans twice as often, allowing iPad Pro to capture more points in a single stroke. Highly responsive sensors built into the tip of Apple Pencil work with the iPad Pro display to detect position, force, and tilt. With force data, you can press lightly to get a thin stroke or press harder to get a darker, bolder stroke. Signals emitted from 2 locations in the tip calculate the angle and orientation to produce broad or shaded strokes. Its unique tip signature allows it to be used simultaneously with your finger. And with incredibly low latency, it has a responsiveness that feels like a true writing or drawing instrument. While its battery lasts for hours of use, a Lightning connector lets you recharge by plugging directly into iPad Pro. Apple Pencil is designed to look and feel like a familiar tool. Yet with its carefully engineered technology, working with our most advanced multi-touch display, it delivers something extraordinary. Precision that actually gives you the ability to touch a single pixel. We have created a product that is the most deliberate evolution of our original founding design. An aluminium body and formed sheet of glass describe a singular shape, one made with very few, very precisely engineered parts. Our obsession remains to continuously simplify and improve. From sculpting the camera housing directly out of the aluminium body to embedding the antenna within the enclosure, essentially making it disappear. Each refinement serves to bring absolute unity and efficiency to the design. To define one truly uninterrupted form, we've developed a whole new process to achieve our high-gloss black finish. This begins with rotational 3D polishing. A specialized compound flows over the intricate geometries of the housing, removing imperfections, establishing a seamlessness between materials, and producing a pristine, mirror-like surface. The enclosure then goes through an anodization process, which creates a protective oxide layer. A single component dye is absorbed through a capillary effect to ensure maximum saturation, while actually becoming part of the surface itself. Finally, a magnetized ultrafine iron particle bath is used to polish the anodized layer to a superior high shine. When complete, iPhone 7 is the most singular, the most evolved representation of this design. The new MacBook Pro combines the fundamental qualities of an ultra-portable device with uncompromising performance. With our new design, the product's overall volume has been reduced dramatically. This results in an extremely purposeful and powerful creative tool. It has the best Retina display we've ever put in a notebook. A precisely designed LED spectrum projects through a metal oxide backplane. This yields a remarkably bright, high-contrast picture with a wider color gamut. The larger Force Touch trackpad now provides an expansive area for a whole range of gestures. We've continued to refine our keyboard design to be more accurate and efficient. Dome switches beneath each key have been optimized for a more responsive feel. We're introducing a new way to interact with your notebook. A multi-touch bar provides a more intuitive, more immediate connection to your content. Commands that were once hidden are now visible, easily accessible, and also customizable. In each application, the most relevant controls are displayed dynamically, allowing you to work with greater efficiency. This is also the first Mac with Touch ID. This seamless integration of hardware and software is truly unique to Apple. The speakers have also been completely redesigned to maximize air displacement and project high-fidelity, room-filling sound. At its core, pro-level processors integrated with high-speed system memory and storage technologies make everything you do faster and more responsive. In a notebook this powerful, thermal management is critical. Thinner, variably spaced fan blades propel air quietly through a nearly solid structure. The new MacBook Pro achieves a design that optimizes both performance and portability. It marks a milestone in the evolution of the Mac. We believe in a wireless future. A future where all of your devices intuitively connect. This belief drove the design of our new wireless AirPods. They have been made possible with the development of the new Apple-designed W1 chip. It is the first of its kind to produce intelligent, high-efficiency playback while delivering a consistent and reliable connection. Infrared sensors detect when each AirPod is in your ear, so they only play once you're ready to listen. Motion accelerometers also respond to your touch, allowing you to access Siri with a double tap. When you're speaking, voice accelerometers recognize the vibration and source of your voice. Then, working with a pair of beam-forming microphones, reduce external noise. Each AirPod provides up to 5 hours of listening on a single charge, while the compact wireless charging case delivers more than 24 hours of battery life. The W1 chip enables intelligent connection to all your Apple devices and allows you to instantly switch between whichever one you're using. And of course, the new wireless AirPods deliver incredible sound. We're just at the beginning of a truly wireless future we've been working towards for many years, where technology enables the seamless and automatic connection between you and your devices. We're a small design team. We've worked together for 25 years. One of the things that we've learned is the importance of listening, because as we all know, the very best ideas can very often come from the quietest voice. Ideas are extremely fragile. Ideas are not predictable in terms of when you'll have them and how many you're going to have. And so over the years, we've really created a team and an environment that I think really increases the probability of good ideas, and when they actually arrive, I think nurtures them. The design studio really is a workshop. We design three-dimensional objects, and we make lots and lots of models and prototypes. Designing and making really should be inseparable. For every finished product that you see, tools had to be designed, process had to be created and experimented with. We've worked very hard to create a singular studio that has all of these different facets. The hallmark of the group has been to be inquisitive and ask an awful lot of questions. We have really made it a practice to just have our heads down and work and ignore, in some senses, all the reasons why something shouldn't be possible. This book captures a point in time of incredible transitions and quite shocking change. You understand the nature of an object so much more when you understand how it came to be. The book tells dozens and dozens of stories. You see momentum, you see learning. Of course, as designers, you live in the future. It's not that we're not interested in the work we've done before, it's just we are so consumed by what we haven't done yet.